Hello everyone. I'm really glad to to be doing this animation workshop. It's a long time I wanted to do. Fortunately, due to the time and other tasks, uh, I couldn't prepare it before because I'm really too picky with this kind of stuff. Like I really want to do great material, share a lot of things because I'm doing what I love here. Like I can't do like uh, a bad a bad stuff. So let's initiate. Okay, so what we need to start, what we need to start animating. The first thing is really basic, and most of the artists has it. We have this kind of observation skills, um, but also it's important to understand what's being asked from the experiences or whatever is the person is asking the animations. So, like for example, if it's a book opening, okay, but it's like a magical book. Can we add like particles? Can we? It's like I don't know, made a book um, made of stone. So if would interfere in the animation, if it's made of stone, we have to give the sensation it's made of stone because of the heavy, it's heavy, etc. So all of this is important. The rig also is important. Um, we can't animate without a good rig. Imagine again the example of the book. We can't animate the book opening if we don't plan uh, the rig like to make the book opening. So I know it's pretty basic, but it's important to to always check on this kind of things. And also, of course, find references, use yourself, your own skeleton is your best reference always your skeleton. um, of course when we are talking about characters, in some cases also about objects you can use, like I don't know, imagine a chest opening using your hand, or I usually do that pretty often to see, to try uh, to reproduce this some kind of motion that I don't have this object, so I try to replicate myself or just find reference. And in rigs, is as I said, is about anticipating the animation. So you have to anticipate, you have to plan what you're gonna do in your animation. You have to think about what you want to do before, because it will avoid you extra process later when you are animating. Um, and then, oh, I need to open the book, but you start animating, and now I have to go back to rig and start splitting. So it's not the best. It's always good to have like really plan your rigs before starting it. Pivot placing, also you guys, I see you guys don't have much problem with that at all. So you guys are really familiar with this. So of course, in other workshops, I will go back to rig about some other uh, complex rigs, but for now I want to share more about animation principles because there's much things we can talk, and they're simple. They're simple knowledge, but they improve a lot once you have this kind of mindset. So today we're gonna start. Ooh, we're gonna start with, where's my mouse? We're gonna start with these animations principles, which is posing, staging, appeal. I put them three in the same one because they are pretty similar. They tell the same thing: anticipation, exaggeration, slow in, slow out, timing, and block out. Okay. And the next workshop we will talk about these. They are mostly for polishing animations. Okay, so let's start with posing. most of people, they made a mistake to start animating right after they just make a neutral pose, and um, like the first frame is like not really good as a base, but they proceed animating it. Never do that. Never do. Always try to give the best posing first, because this is gonna be the base of your animation. It's gonna be where you're gonna tell the personality of your character. So it's pretty important, um, having a good pose, dynamic, like with good lines of motion, harmonic, and also when we talk about staging is is thinking about what kind of cameras um, this avatar will be. Uh, it's like uh, in the sandbox, you mostly are in the back camera, right? Of course, if you are moving to the side, or you can also run towards the camera, but mostly you have like the main cameras, like the back camera, the side, because it's the main movements you usually do. The staging is mostly used in cinema, in movies, like animation for movies, because you want to extract the best from that angle. And appeal is basically to give personality for your character. Here we have some examples of silhouettes. It's the same character, just different poses. We have pose A, B, C, and D. I want you to share your thoughts in the just text me like what is the worst pose here that doesn't have these things: energy and life, balance, personality, naturality, and fast eye response. Fast eye response is kind of, you have to understand everything that is in the scene, everything that, like, for example, here you can see the sword, neither here. So you have to understand your character. Uh, Everything is in your character in most of the angles we talked about. So yeah, okay, guys, thanks. Yeah, there's maybe people are gonna see B or C, both are bad. But in my opinion, the B is the worst, because it doesn't even have good lines of action. It's all straight, it's pretty neutral, and it's like you don't see the sword. It's kind of bad. And then the second, we have C. I guess most of people also say C. You don't also see sword in one of the main cameras. It's lacking a bit of balance. It's kind of weird. And then we have A. A is the pose you guys are most familiar. Uh, this pose is in your avatars. It's pretty neutral. But the problem is it's neutral, and it's totally neutral, so it doesn't have a personality. So um, for like neutral characters or something, or creating for an NPC, maybe it can work. But if you want really personality, you need another pose, a pose that suits for that character. And D here, and in D we see like a flow happening in the pose, etc., a balance. So again here, A, B, C, and D, now with color. You can see the sword here not really appearing. It's pretty neutral, square. The A is neutral, but it's pretty good, like it works. The C, it's like the person tried to make a good pose. but it's still lacking a bit of patience from the artist side. He didn't go further. Like if he push a little longer, he would find this pose. Okay, in this pose, it's clear. You can see line of actions, uh, the body. So it's pretty harmonic, and that's what you want. Okay, and when you think you finish the pose, there's always some details you can push forward and improve it. And I was playing with the pose, and then I just like I left my computer a little bit. Then I come back, and then I was like, oh, okay, I think if I change this, it's gonna be better because the Puss in Boots, he has like a really confident posture, and this posture helps when we make like his neck here more like this, and also I inclined a little bit the hat. It helps to give this extra sauce to our pose, and it works. So double check always. Also, it's pretty good. I always say that when you're creating animation, I think any kind of art, it's good to take a time, a break, do something else, rest your eyes because your eyes is already used for what you are doing. It happens the same animation. And here we are, like in the back view, it works pretty good. You have all these qualities. It's long, it has personality, it's a strong pose, a balance, has balance, energy flow, life, the eyes feel rest. I always say that because it's the sensation. It's like you don't see anything. Well, now I see. I see some Z fighting, but you see everything that is working in harmony. The lines, everything is working well. Um, Besides the Z fighting here, everything is working well. So you, your mind is in kind of state that is rested. Like if you see something wrong, like as if I you be picky about that. It will call attention every time. And now it is calling my attention, and I'm not well. My eyes is not rested anymore. But this is a good example. And if you see in the back view, you can imagine it running around, the character running around. You can imagine jumping. You can imagine the other animations how it's gonna be, just because the pose brought this personality. Anticipation. Anticipation is about, yeah, as I put here, if you want to jump, you need to bend your knees first. It's basically everything has anticipation. But for games, anticipation is important because it helps the spectator to identify what the character is going to do. It can be an attack, for example. So if you see like a boss like this one anticipating, you probably will gonna try to escape from it. Otherwise, you're gonna die. So it's anticipation is all about that. Is all about creating and spectative in the spectator. So it's like, let's see if it's in the next slide. Yeah, it's here. So every time when you're gonna throw, I don't know, anything, a ball, uh, you're gonna need to go to the opposite direction and throw it. You need to make it believable. Imagine if you're gonna throw it to somebody, like just to pretend to throw to somebody, like you pretend and the people kind of dodge it. If you make the anticipation really good with a good timing, The people will believe that you're gonna throw that. That's what we want. We want to make the people to believe in your action before doing the action. That's basically the summary. You have to make people believe in your action before doing your action. So that way you create a expectative for your spectator, and when you do it, the expectative is completed. It matches the expectative and it creates kind of a good sensation for him. How we do anticipation with objects. So we have a simple book. So how we do anticipation for books? Like it's not in real life. In real life, we don't have books anticipating. We don't have these kind of things. But okay, we are talking about art here. We are not replicating life how it is exactly. We are making art, stylizing. That I forgot the word, but stylizing, I guess, is correct. We're kind of making a stylized kind of life and giving everything as art, and also we want to make the spectator to believe in everything and also create this smooth sensation. So it's important also to create anticipation for objects, not just making opening. You click it and the opening. If you put two frames like here, I don't know if the frame rate is good, but it just made a small anticipation here. You can see I put the cover like two frames going down first and then opening. This is enough to tell your brain before doing the action what you're gonna do. Like, oh, let's start moving. And then I think it's gonna open. And then it opens. Your brain thinks all about this really fast. So 1, 2, 3 frames is enough to tell about one anticipation. Of course, this anticipation is pretty simple. We're gonna see more examples. So here, uh, I show like these keyframes I made to make anticipation, and it shows like here going just doing this movement. Pretty simple like that. Here another example without anticipation, and here with anticipation. Pretty basic, but it changes the feeling. It changes the feeling of the spectator, like it kind of smooth it out. Um, so another example, without anticipation, just falls. In reality, it should happen the same. The angel would just fall, but we want to give a good sensation for a spectator. We want to create a spectative before doing the action. So we create the anticipation. And then things here start getting better. When we talk about exaggeration, it is about exaggerating everything in life in your animation, or at least some moments. So basically, if something is sad, make it sadder. If something is happy, make it happier. We have a good example from Spider-Man. He doesn't have facial expressions as in the sandbox, so it it has to use all his body expressions and really exaggeration to bring his emotions to the spectator, like really clean silhouettes and all of this happening, and you believe you know what he's feeling. So in your avatars, it's important also to bring really exaggerated body expressions because we don't have expressions. It's always like smiling or a poker face. So it's really important. And here we have exaggeration. Um, and your guy here saying hi, like he's almost flying, but it's helping to accentuate the action of hi. Like it's cartoonish, but it works at least for our style. Okay. And then here we have anticipation happening, and we have anticipation with exaggeration. You see, we are even uh, we put a little bit more sauce in that. And our book again. Okay, so here is with anticipation. How it's gonna look if we exaggerate it. So it's you can do like in many ways, guys. There's pos- a lot of possibilities. You can use also VFX or whatever. But here I exaggerated only the anticipation and the opening moment, just that. And we have a really good impression because um, it, again, you create expectation for the spectator, for the player, and when it opens, oh, it opens. I was expecting to open. Of course, I made you expect that. So that's the goal. That's the mindset you have to have when you're animating. The same here, anticipation first, and we have anticipation with exaggeration. Okay, so not much of exaggeration. I think this jest is from Linver, or I'm wrong. I think she made really some animations from it. I don't know, it's Virgin or Linver, but she made a really good exaggeration in one of her animations. So pretty good. I'm gonna show the other workshop some things, the other tips, other fundamentals. Here, exaggeration again. We had this guy here only with anticipation going up, and here, like, why not making him shaking or doing something like, "Hey, I'm really going to fall on you." So uh, it's like some good examples about how to implement anticipation, exaggeration at the same time. And then here I see many people made a mistake with curves and slow in and slow out. So we're going through that. It's one of because you can have all of those principles in your mind. You can have the mindset, but if you don't use the curves well, you're gonna mess up with your animation. So slow in and slow out is basically everything in life has a begin like this object is like floating in the air. Of course, if um, I, I I I drop it, it's gonna fall. But it's gonna have a movement like starting really slow and then it goes fast. It doesn't start from linear. Not net anything starts from linear, guys. Anything. If you're gonna make an anvil falling, you must start with easy in. Okay, it's like it's physics. Everything has an inertia. Um, so here there's an example. Uh, the anvil falling, and it falls in easy in motion because it starts slow and it starts going faster, and then it finish faster than it was before. So and here is a wrong example. Whoa, a wrong example. What? Yeah, a wrong example because your eyes can't maybe don't see because the frame rate there is terrible, but it starts decelerating here. Like it doesn't make sense. Anything in life, like if you drop an apple, it it won't slow down when it's falling. So you have to fall always in ease in. Okay, and when we start is in, we can later put a linear motion. We can have linear. after easing or before easing. Like if of course if the object stopped, it's gonna be linear always there. So linear always happen after a easing, okay, or or a easy out, but after easy out probably will be the object will be stopped, like you won't have movement. So some curves tips here. If you hold Control or Command in Mac, you can select the keys you want to delete, the position keys. Okay. Um, that way you can clean up and delete only the necessary animation keys. Like I'm making this coin going to this direction, so I'm using only the X. So I'm gonna preserve only this key and this. All of the other one, or I guess this one, I don't know. So all these other ones I can delete, okay? But, but never delete the rotations. Like never do the same with rotations here. Never do it because it's gonna. This is in Voxelite, okay, guys, in your environment. This is our game maker, game client. They are kind of broken. They will broke if you delete the keyframes, and we're gonna have slurp bugs. But you can have separated rotation timings from like you can have keys here and and key. You can have keys in rotation but not in translation. Okay, so you can have this, but you can't have like delete only one key here or so. It will give you troubles. Okay, so keep that in mind. And timing, well, timing is um, basically putting like laws of physics, using spacing in your animations, like spacing from one key to other. It also helps to create interest and appeal to your animations. So we have an example here where the book is opening and is already like actually is anticipating and is already opening at the same time, and it's a mess. But when we put timings, you made your animation breathe. Okay, so I will go back to the example here again. You see everything like happening at the same time. And then when we put good timings, everything is harmonic. Like it has anticipation, it stops a little bit in the air to give like accentuate the the intention, and then it falls opening. Okay, so you can also think of timing like punctuation, where a comma introduces a small pause, keeping the motion flowing or building anticipation, and a period creates a definite stop, giving the action a strong final impact. Wow, that's deep. So be careful to not cue your animation with bad timings. The timings are the sauce. Use it with moderation, okay? So here's a bad example, actually here, a bad example of timing where the chest here is opening really slow and here is opening fast, like because it is jumping. It is jumping, the chest is jumping, anticipating and jumping, and then we continue the movement of the chest through the top part of the chest. I forgot the name of that. So uh, and here no, it's kind of slow and doesn't make much sense. So if you see here, the only thing you have to do is just bring your keys and make it faster. Okay, so uh, when you change the timing of the things, you can give it more. You can make things lighter or faster. Okay, you can give this feeling through this. Another example here in the true animation. In this one, he's kind of slow. It's like the anticipation is fast, but when he's gonna throw, it doesn't make it looks like he's throwing a heavy object. But if you think in his other in his anticipation, it doesn't make sense. He's doing this movement like it's something light, and then he's throw like something heavy. So there's something wrong with our timing. So here we just shrink it, we just move it, okay, to adjust our timings to really make it uh, work as it should be. And preparing your animations. So I talk about the basic fundamentals here. Now let's just talk about how we can start applying this. So first of all, find references that most suit your idea, or just use your body. Like if you want to make the troll, just do it and try to see what your body is doing. Like, okay, I move this, but what my shoulders did when I do this movement, what my hips does when I do this movement, and try to replicate it. Okay, we are not talking today about character animations in general. We're gonna do that for the next week because it's more advanced. But this mindset is good to have, and also make thumbnails. It's good. I really like it to 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 make thumbnails, sketches of the main poses. It really helps to identify, and then start blocking. Blocking basically, you're gonna put the main keyframes. The main keyframes, they are anticipation. Uh, like you start with from idle, and then you go to anticipation, and then action, and then go back to idle. These are the main key poses. Okay, you can start from it, and it's kind of a planning from your animation. But again, you want to create a character for this for exercises. I have another plans for you guys. But it happens the same. We talk about assets. We have to do this planning as well. I think most of you does that, like this kind of well, I don't know actually, but you always have to start from the first pose and then anticipation and the action one, which is the chest open. So um, this is when we block animations, we are preparing our animation for polishing it more. Add the principles. I don't know what is that. Okay, so I have a video here. You guys will have access later because it has 8 minutes. I just recorded me making all the what we talked about. Okay, the chest is a collaboration as going through many hands. Good to know. Andrea, Thierry. Okay, nice. Pretty good. So you guys can see the video, check the video later if you want. It's just, I made those animations for the chest. They're just pretty simple. And here is the exercise. Some exercises I want from you guys. So I want you to pose a character that you most like. Any character that you don't need to make a new character here. Just pick one you have. If you want to make another one, it's okay. But I don't want to take your your time to doing this, okay? Like, and you're gonna just pose it. And the other one, apply the fundamentals we learn in some asset. So if you have some asset, a book, a door, anything, anything like, and it has interactive animation, like opening, closing, I don't know, triggering, like interrupter, I don't know. It can be anything. Try to apply the fundamentals um, that we learn, and or if you want, you can create a new animation, okay? But I think it would be cool to have uh, an old animation from you, and we compare later the old animation with the new animation. So here again, a pose from a character that you like. It can be like 1 to 3 poses, or it can be just one, guys. Okay, I put 3 because I know there are some guys that gets excited and makes a lot of things. So you can send to me 3 poses if you want. Okay, and you want animate just one frame, just the pose. And the goal is to give personality to our character in this single pose. Okay, so be creative and always check if the pose is harmonious. And for the asset, uh, here I put some animation as well, doing the same, correcting one old animation, and this is what we're going to do. Okay, so get your old asset and animation, review it with the fundamentals, and that's it. Duplicate the animation because we don't want to lose the old animation, and send me both. Okay. Um, I'm gonna send you the link, but you can also click here. But I'm gonna send you the link. It's all split into folders. Everyone has a folder, and once you finish, you can let me know, and I'm gonna check them and make a video of the review, and that's it. So thank you guys. I hope you liked the the workshop. Bunny?